This is Chris Martin, the Spectacular Gay Atheist, author of The Spectacular Gay Atheist, Jerry Answers Your Queer Questions. And I wanted to discuss briefly Dave Chappelle's conundrum with Netflix. Now, I have nothing against Dave Chappelle. He's a great comedian, and he does some great work. The problem is that Dave has done a Netflix special where he makes fun of, to a degree, and makes light of, to a degree, the trans experience. The problem here isn't necessarily the jokes or the things that he said, but the context in which he said them. Right now, Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon Prime actually have a problem going on right now where they are culling gay content. And in doing so, they are marginalizing and discriminating against the LGBTQI. And for Netflix to put out a special where a well-known and renowned comedian then makes light of the trans experience, ultimately they are furthering that marginalization and attacking trans people. The issue that exists here isn't even necessarily the content, but that context. Now, Dave, as he discussed, his jokes were about another comedian that he was mentoring, someone who was a trans woman. But the problem is that it's the bigger social blow. You know, about a year ago, 2 years ago even, Netflix had a huge library of gay content. They even had picked up foreign content from like Thailand, which far exceeds the rather minimal content produced in the United States. Hulu had a fairly large library of gay content, and Amazon had a showcase of gay content that was actually easily accessible and wasn't behind a paywall. Today, if you search all three platforms, Netflix has culled and removed huge numbers of their gay content to the point that their gay content now accounts for maybe 30 titles. Hulu has done the same thing, and Amazon Prime has put the vast majority of their gay content behind a paywall. The big issue here isn't his performance per se, but the context in which it's presented. And that's what people need to understand and accept at this point in time, and understand why the LGBTQIA community is angry. It's because we do not have fair and equitable representation within the media platforms that we actually enjoy and go to for entertainment. The amount of gay content that exists in general is fairly minimal compared to normal content. And what content we do have is either outdated, or perpetuates a slew of stereotypes and concepts about homosexuality, trans people, pan people, etc., that just doesn't comport with reality. And so we have to be careful in presenting different media and different content right now, especially on these media platforms, so that we aren't marginalizing trans people or gay people or pan people, etc. The Netflix special with Dave Chappelle is just furthering an existing existential issue. And that issue is how Netflix and Hulu and Amazon Prime and other streaming services are treating content that is centered on gay people or trans people, or people that do not fit into the heteronormative ideal or constructs that we have socially. So that's it. I wanted to put my 2 cents in here. Hopefully, Dave Chappelle will reconsider his position on his comedy, and I put this question forward to him, that imagine if someone, a white comedian, did something similar about black people, and commented in the same way that he did about his trans friend in the trans community. Would that be acceptable? So I have a feeling to Dave it wouldn't be. And that makes him a hypocrite.